Made man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. What's up, fight fans? What's up, fight fans? What's up? What's goody on this good Saturday, man? Fight day, fight day, fight day. Can't wait for all the big fights to get underway, man. Let me just make sure the audio sounding cool. Yeah. We sounding cool. I bet that. Man, it's fight day, Joe. We got Porter versus Ugas going down tonight. A lot of other good fights, too. Looking forward to the Dimitri Bivol versus Joe Smith fight. Really looking forward to that one. Looking forward to F.A. Ajagba versus Amir Mansour tonight. Those are going to be some good ones to also talk about. Hey, man, it's fight day, Joe. I hope y'all got y'all runs out the way. I hope y'all got wifey out the way. I hope y'all did everything you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's fight day today. And, yo, I can't wait for these fights to get underway, man. I've been taking in all the interviews. I've been seeing the eyes of the fighters. I've been looking at all of these fighters at the weigh-ins, man. Yo, man, hey, we got some good ones going on tonight, and I'm really looking forward to it. But let me just say this. Before we get to talking about those fights, I want to talk about something else. And you see it in the title, and it's about Dillian Whyte, man. I'm really intrigued about the Dillian Whyte situation, man. And we know Dillian Whyte is a little upset right now. Y'all know Dillian Whyte is kicking and screaming with everybody. Ali Cartier, what's up with you, man? Brian Thompson, yes, sir. Sir, you know we talking boxing, homie. What up with you, Brian, man? Yeah, man. We're going to talk about some real good boxing talk in this particular segment, man. But I want to lead this off with Dillian Whyte. And Dillian Whyte is a little upset. He's calling the fight between Dominique Breazeale versus Deontay Wilder a joke. He's saying this is a joke, and he ain't feeling this situation, man. You know what I'm saying? And I could understand, Joe. I could understand where Dillian Whyte is coming from. I really can. You know, he felt as though he put some work in. He should be to get the title fight with Deontay Wilder before Dominique Breazeale does. He felt as though it should have been him. So I can't be mad at him. I understand. But at the end of the day, Dillian Whyte, you need to understand something, homie. You got duped. You don't see it? It's clear as day. You got duped. You can't blame Wilder. You can't blame Al Heyman, or you can't blame Dominique Breazeale. Hell, you can't even blame yourself. But you got duped. You have the WBC Silver Championship. That's the belt that you wear. That doesn't make you the mandatory, Holmes. I got two words for you. Don King. Don King. What work did Whyte put in? I mean, you know, he beat Hellenius. He beat Lucas Brown and Joseph Parker. But we'll get to that, bro. But I got two words for you, man. Don King. Don King in the WBC ran a fast one on Dillian Whyte. It's at the end. It's simple as that. When he fought Robert Hellenius in October of 2017, he fought Hellenius for the WBC Silver Championship. A month later, you had Deontay Wilder versus Bermane Stiverne 2. Now, we was all tripping about that fight. Like, how the hell does Bermane Stiverne get this fight? Why is he still in the ring? The dude has been inactive. He beat nobody of note. Why the hell is he getting this fight? Don King. But also on the undercard of that particular fight, you had Dillian Whyte. You had Dominique Breazeale versus Eric Molina for the WBC mandatory. You probably saying, like, what the hell? What the hell, bro? Like, did they put the work in? I got two words for you. Don King. Don King was the promoter of Eric Molina. Don King connection with the WBC is well known throughout the boxing circles. We all know the cozy relationship between Don King and Jose Sulaiman. I've already talked about this in previous videos. Check the archives because they don't lie. I've already covered pretty much every inch of this, but it's been updated a little bit, so we're gonna go back in. But yeah, man, the relationship between Don King and Jose Sulaiman was golden. And so that's how it basically went down from that point. Fuller Sports says Dillian Whyte needs to be quiet. He wants the easiest path to belts. I couldn't agree with you more. That's why my sympathy for Dillian Whyte only goes but so far. And we will get to that. So now you got the mandatory challenger and Dominique Breazeale. Deontay Wilder goes on and beat Bermane Stiverne. And now at that point, of course, we know the WBC mandatory rules. They don't have to immediately, the champion doesn't have to immediately fight the mandatory. He can make him wait up to a year. And so the year progresses in 2018. And this is with Dillian Whyte, who's the WBC silver champion. He is now in a position. Oh shit. Hold on. Let me get this spammer out of here. Damn, y'all coming early with the spam shit, man. They coming early as hell, bro. But yeah, man. So basically 2018 progresses, you know what I mean? And so, of course, Dillian Whyte started to put his work in, right? Who did he fight? Lucas Brown. That wasn't much to talk about at the time. You know what I'm saying? Then he goes and faces Joseph Parker. Now, the thing was with Joseph Parker, though WBC Silver Heavyweight Championship was on the line in that fight, also, you got to understand that was mainly for the WBO. Vacant. What was it? To become the #1 contender, basically, in the WBO. That's the reason he chose to face Joseph Parker. Lucas Brown was inactive. Lucas Brown had already, he ain't been in the ring and God knows when by that point. You know what I'm saying? Who else did he fight? It was just basically Lucas Brown and Joseph Parker, who he fought in 2018, right? And see, this is where the problem comes in at for me, though. Right after Dillian Whyte beat Joseph Parker, you had Dominique Breazeale telling anybody that would listen he was down at the time to face Dillian Whyte. It looked as if Deontay Wilder was going to go and face Tyson Fury. They was already starting their negotiations. The WBC was on board with it. So Dominique Breazeale is like, fuck it. I'll face you, Dillian Whyte. He had just came from over the UK. He thought he had won over a bunch of UK fans. And so he was down to give Dillian Whyte a shot right there. Right there. Dillian Whyte didn't take the opportunity. Dillian Whyte instead went on to face Derek Chisora. So if he would have took Dominique Breazeale up on his offer, he would have then rightfully so became the mandatory. So you got to understand, man, when you got the WBC Silver Championship, that's a funny ass belt, Joe. That belt is super funny. That's a weirdo belt, man. I remember back in the day, Bob Arum called that belt a straight up joke. A joke. This belt has been on the scene since 2010. Came out of nowhere, came out of thin air. And it was labeled as a joke by Bob Arum when they was trying to put it in one of his fights with one of his fighters. He said, man, I'll do the promotion for this, but I ain't even talking about that belt. It's a joke. Because that belt does not guarantee you the championship fight. If you have the WBC silver title, if the championship spot becomes vacant, you can't inherit the championship title if you have the WBC title. These are the rules when it comes to this silver championship. It has no mandatory, but it has a hell of a sanctioning fee. It's a weirdo ass title. It's a weirdo ass title. And this is the title that Dillian Whyte holds. The WBC Silver Championship is not the WBC Interim Championship. As you can see now, the WBC is ordering a fight between Dominique Breazeale and Dillian Whyte for the WBC Interim, which means that nobody has it. It's a weirdo title, bruh. It's just another title that the WBC had created to get sanctioning fees. That's all it is. But after Dillian Whyte defeats Joseph Parker, you got Dominique Breazeale out here like, what's good? We can get it on. Since that situation's got to play itself out, I don't want to stay out of the ring too long. I just came from over in the UK where, a lot of people showed me a lot of love. I'm down to even go over to the UK and fight Dillian Whyte. But Dillian Whyte decided to go after the money in Derek Chisora. Opportunity squandered. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention Deontay Wilder. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear this. Deontay Wilder told Dillian Whyte, look, cuz, while you running around kicking and screaming and telling the WBC that they can do this and they can do that, how about you face Luis Ortiz? You beat Luis Ortiz, I'll give you a shot. Those are the words of Deontay Wilder. Those are the words of Deontay Wilder. He didn't take that opportunity neither. He says, nah, why do I have to do that? You know, I'm the silver champion. So boom, 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 boom. I don't have to do shit. He felt as though he should have been the mandatory because he beat inactive Lucas Brown and he beat Joseph Parker. These are facts. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you don't wear the mandatory spot, cuz. All of this time, throughout all of 2018, Dominique Breazeale was still the mandatory. He was just waiting because Deontay Wilder didn't have to fight him right away. He was just waiting. You know what I'm saying? What y'all talking about? Dillian Whyte is brain dead. How can you decline $7 million in the potential of winning 4 belts? And he declines that. So what does that show people? Brain dead. I hear that, S.A. Khan. I hear that, man. Couldn't agree with you more, man. It's a good fight between him and Dominique Breazeale, though. Both of them lost to AJ. You know, they got a common opponent that they both lost to. So it's a good fight. But at the end of the day, bro, like, you got to remember, you are not this particular champion. You are not the mandatory. Now, I even pulled up the quotes. I pulled up the quotes of Dominique Breazeale during that time. And Dominique Breazeale, hold on one second. I want to talk about this because Dominique Breazeale offered the man to fight. Like, they didn't even have to go to the WBC ordering it. You could have been getting your shot. You chose not to. You chose to go for the money. You chose to fight Derek Chisora, a fight that somebody you've already beat because you wanted to get paid. You wanted to get full paid. Now, according to Dominique Breazeale at the time, he says, and I quote, "You know, I thought the Dillian Whyte fight and myself was actually going to happen this year." This is something he told Sky Sports. He is bound with the situation with the WBC and his silver belt, and I have the WBC mandatory. I only thought it was right for him and myself to get in the ring and square it off as the fans would love to see. So hopefully that fight does come here in the near future. It's definitely up to Dillian Whyte, but I'm a fan pleaser, and if the fans want to see it, I'm going to be the guy to give it. I'm in a situation where the belts are beautiful and I want to hold all the belts by all means. But at the same time, I want to please the fans. If they want to see it, I'm going to make it happen. I was looking to be in the ring earlier this spring in about April. And here we are at the end of the year, so it's definitely time. We're looking at October, maybe even November. As far as an opponent, we're still searching. Dillian Whyte didn't step up. The UK did a phenomenal job of having me there. The hospitality was phenomenal. I gained a ton of fans. I can't wait to come back. Whyte is yet to respond to those quotes at the time that they printed that. That was early 2018. And Whyte just said he went on to face Derek Chisora. So how much sympathy can we have for Dillian Whyte? Because Don King duped him back in the day and made Eric Molina versus Dominique Breazeale for the mandatory. Dillian Whyte thought he was all doing great. He was happy when he first got that WBC silver title. Oh, he was running around. We all know that the road to the goal is through the silver. Ain't mean shit. You know what I mean? So you got duped, cuz. You didn't read the small print. You didn't know the belt that you was wearing. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. So for him to go out now and say, well, the fight between Dominique Breazeale and Deontay Wilder is a joke. I got to say, did you read the small print? This is something that we all knew was going to happen, and you chose not to do nothing about it. That was your fault. Why didn't you just face Luis Ortiz? Clearly, Deontay Wilder was on record saying that if you fight the Luis Ortiz, you're next. Luis Ortiz says, I'll pull myself off the undercard of Fury versus Wilder to go over there and face Dillian Whyte in the UK. What's goody? No, he chose not to. Harold Jones in the building. What's up with you? You know, he chose not to. So that was on Dillian Whyte. Now, don't run around to any camera that would listen today and say, oh, well, you know, this is a joke fight. Oh, I put the work in. Oh, I did this and I did that. Cuzzo, you did nothing but wore a Fugazi-ass belt. That's what you done, son. That's what you done, man. And that's just keeping it 100. Black Horseman, what's up with you? What's up with you? Love the videos you did earlier, Holmes. Yeah, man. So that's all I'm saying. See, in Dillian Whyte's case, he needs to understand the position now that he's in. The messed up thing about it is, let's just say that, okay, Dominique Breazeale and Deontay Wilder's going to fight, right? It's no guarantee that Dillian Whyte still steps up to the mandatory. They can order another eliminator. These are the rules of the silver title. I'm well versed in the rules of the WBC Silver Championship. And technically, they can make him fight another fight if they want to. It's at their discretion. You are the whipping boy of the WBC when you hold the WBC silver title. Now, don't get me wrong. Here's another. So you look at the situation like this. Number one, you got Dillian Whyte. He's in the number one spot. The number two spot, for some odd reason, the WBC has yet to remove Tyson Fury from the rankings, and they still has him as number two. What if the WBC says, you know what, shit, because you know they love that money. Are we going to order a fight between Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury to become the mandatory? They are well within their rights to do it. And that's real shit. Real spit. I'm being honest with you, man. And it ain't cool. It's messed up. But this is the Dillian Whyte guy. No one on his side must have explained this to him. He must. Now, he's in a beautiful position amongst the heavyweights. He's in a beautiful position. He's number one in the WBC and he is number one in the WBO, but he's mandatory of neither sanctioning body. Who knows what route they're going to put Dillian Whyte on? And that's why Dillian Whyte is kicking and screaming right now. He's sitting around and he's like, I want a championship fight. I need a championship fight. Because, you're not actually in a position where that might happen. Now, I think the odds are better for him in the WBO because shit. And this is why I'm telling people, I don't know if really Dillian Whyte is serious about going to ESPN. I don't know if that's serious. Yeah, hit that like button for me, y'all. Hit that like button for me. I don't know if he's serious because as of present day in the WBO, he's right up under Anthony Joshua. Yet Tyson Fury is gaining on him because he's ranked high in that sanctioned body also. So the better fight, if he want to get a Joshua rematch, would be to keep his ass over there at Matchroom, right? But also on the flip tip, if he want to make the Tyson Fury fight happen, he got probably have to go over to ESPN. So it's kind of odd. I don't know which way he'll probably turn because if he faces Tyson Fury, if the WBC so desires, they can make him face Tyson Fury for a mandatory spot. Then he'll have to go to ESPN. I'm just saying. Or the good news about Dillian Whyte is that he says he's a free agent. He's not locked in with DAZN. He's on a fight-by-fight basis. So he can move around. If he says, tomorrow I want to go to ESPN, he can do it. If he says today I want to go, you see, we just seen him fight on Showtime. If he says, and he's clearly giving Sky and Matchroom every opportunity to make a move for him. He's doing that. So we don't know which way he is going to pivot. We don't know at this present moment, but he got options. He got options. I hope he don't squander this time around like he did last year. If he would have just fought Luis Ortiz, if he would have just took Dominique Brazil up on his offer instead of trying to go and face Derek Chisora and get that bag, I understand, it's money, cuz. I mean, how you gonna turn down that bag? It's a bag. It was more of a grudge match. It was a fan-friendly UK level fight. Well, guess what? On the world stage, that ain't do shit for you, man. That ain't do nothing for you. And you could have been in a position of possibly being the mandatory a lot faster. Even in the Joseph Parker situation, when you chose to go that route, that wasn't even for the mandatory spot. People need to understand he made some bad decisions because he saw the lights, the glitz, the glamour. When he fought for Joseph Parker, he's still not declared as the WBO mandatory, man. So, it's unfortunate that Dillian Whyte didn't have the right people in his ear to tell him what's goody. It's really unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Brian Thompson says the whipping boy. I remember reading that book when I was a kid. Hey, with that now on that book, I'm sure Dillian Whyte is on the front cover of that joint because he got that WBC silver title, the whipping boy championship. Hey, son. Hey, copyright that shit. Don't touch it. He got the whipping boy championship, the WBC silver title. You hear me? You know what I mean? All day, man. And it's unfortunate the decisions that he make, but don't be out here trying to clown on Wilder's fight. And people are wondering like what may even happen with that situation because Wilder, he's talking to the zone. The thing that people need to understand is that no matter what network that Deontay Wilder goes to, whether it be the zone, ESPN, if he stay at Showtime or whatever the fuck, doesn't matter, man. Because at the end of the day, this is an ordered fight. It's an ordered fight. So no matter where he goes, if they can't come to an agreement, we all know it goes to purse bid. So that doesn't hinder Dominique Brazil's chance of what, and Wilder's not going to vacate his WBC title for nothing. You dig? So it doesn't matter where Wilder goes. It's still going to happen, man. It's still going to happen. But that WBC silver title is a joke. I'm going to tell you how much. I'm going to give you some examples of some current WBC silver belt holders, the Whipping Boy Championship holders. And that is, you think about the situation with Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo is the WBC silver champion at middleweight. What the hell is that, bro? And now they're ordering him. That's just the reason why we were all tripping about them ordering him to face Gennady Golovkin, who had already lost to Canelo, and then to become the guy, the mandatory. Well, guess what? When you own the Whipping Boy Championship, the WBC silver title, that's what they can do. That's what they can do. Now look at Jamal Charlo. He in a situation where he is not declared the mandatory, but he has the WBC silver championship. If you are a fighter and they come to you and say, yo, you want to fight this cat for the WBC silver, you better run for the hills. Like, hell nah. Keep that. And you got to pay a sanctioning fee. Look at Jamal. Jamal is in a position where he can't get the Mando because he has the Whipping Boy Championship. I'll give you another example. Look at Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis has a WBC silver. And we all know that the reason that they can't make this fight is because guess what? The champion fights over on ESPN, making it hard to make the fight. And what people need to understand about the interim, people may be wondering, yo, what's the difference between the silver and the interim? The interim pretty much guarantees you the championship fight. The WBC silver doesn't. It's the interim. The interim is a title that they basically create out of thin air whenever the champion is not available. And in Deontay Wilder's case, when they had originally ordered, when they had ordered for Dillian Whyte to face Dominique Brazil, they were going to fight for the interim because the mandatory challenger was due his shot. Yet the WBC ordered at that time a rematch with Tyson Fury. So the champion wasn't available. So given that he wasn't available, whether he's hurt, he's injured, whatever the reason, they create this interim title out of thin air. It's bullshit. That's the WBC, though. You know what I mean? That's how they get down, man. White should have fought Poulet for the mandatory. Yeah, he should have. I agree with that. These are the things. Dillian Whyte has roads. He has actually the title of the video that I did on this was called that Dillian Whyte has had many opportunities and took none of them. None of them. But then he wants to sit back today and say, oh, well, everybody picking on me. I put the work in. I beat Lucas Brown. I get the fuck out of here, son. You know what I mean? No, we know it's good. And if we don't, guess what? They going to learn. People going to learn. Fucking with the boy. They going to learn. You know what I mean? Real talk. Doesn't really matter. What's up with you? He can still fight Ortiz if he win the man, but the man is scared. Yeah, he could have took Ortiz up. And I don't know if that Wilder offer still stands as of today. Because Wilder back then said, look, man, this is your role right here. I'll give you an opportunity because if we know Wilder can make it happen, I'll give you the opportunity to skip over Dominique Brazil if you beat Luis Ortiz. And your man Dillian wanted absolutely hashtag no smoke. Hashtag no smoke. I said hashtag no smoke. You hear me? He wanted nothing. So come on, man. You know what I mean? So look, man, I feel bad that he got duped by Don King and them back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Because Don King put that mandatory in there with Eric Molina and Dominique Brazil. Feel bad for him. Because that shouldn't have been for the mandatory. It would have been nice to wait for them to wait it out and then make the fight between Dillian Whyte and Dominique Brazil for the mandatory. But Don King still got the juice, man. Don still got sway with the WBC, and we all know it because of his relationship with the father of Mauricio Suleiman, Jose Suleiman. It's been like that since the Tyson days. All through the 90s. All those heavyweights that got WBC shots because of Don King. Real shit. Real shit. Wilder deserves a tune-up. I mean, but my thing is, the mandatory has to be enforced sooner. It has to, bro, because the man has been mandatory since 2017. So it has to. I mean, they've been putting Dominique Brazil on the back burner. I don't agree with them doing it with Jamal Charlo by allowing the Triple G and Canelo fights to keep happening. And they kept Charlo out the loop. though he had the Whipping Boy Championship, so I guess they knew what they was doing. But they knew he was next, and they never gave him a shot. And I don't like the fact that they're doing it with Dominique Brazil. I don't think it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Why did Charlo needs to drop that fool's gold belt? I agree. I agree 100%. I agree. Because now if here we are, Gennady Golovkin is talking about going to the zone. So there go his supposed defense of the WBC silver, right? So now he in a position like, damn, now where am I going to go? Who's next? And even if I beat this guy next, then I become the mandatory. And the WBC rules with mandatories, they can make you wait up to a year. That's WBC for you. They are not going to let their cash cow in Canelo Alvarez, get hindered right now. And they are not going to risk him losing that title to a Jamal Charlo, who's not as nearly as profitable as Canelo Alvarez. It's all about sanctioning fees. We know the bigger the fighter, the bigger the sanctioning fee, right? We all know that. Bigger the fighter, the bigger the purse, the bigger the sanction fee. Shit don't change. Them UK boxers are spoiled as hell, Slim. You don't get entitled to nothing. And that's why somebody asked, one of y'all asked me, who did Dillian Whyte beat? Who did he put the work in against? And that's what I'm saying, bro. He could have actually put real work in by beating Luis Ortiz. And this is just out of the words of Deontay Wilder. It wouldn't have looked right for Deontay Wilder to be fully on record in the public, telling everybody and their mamas, like, son, I will fight Dillian Whyte if he beats Luis Ortiz. It wouldn't have been a good look for him to then duck Luis Ortiz. Because cats like myself would have been on Wilder like, hey, cuzzo, you said that you get this man a shot if he beat Ortiz. He beat Ortiz. What's up? We'd have been wondering. And it wouldn't have been a good look for Deontay Wilder. I don't think Wilder would have backed out of that situation. And Dillian Whyte did nothing to call a bluff. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm saying, son. So when we talk about this, man, like, come on, man. Like, and then look, man, Marcus Brown, who just recently won that WBC, he just won the WBA's what was it, silver title? I think it was. Oh, interim title. I'm sorry. Interim title. Yeah, he won the interim. Okay. But yeah, man, these dudes, man, it's the WBC is terrible at what they do. You know what I'm saying? Terrible what they do. Oh, you know what? I want to give one more update. So in Jamal Charlo's situation, okay, so they elevated him up to the interim time. So he's now the interim. So that's good for Jamal Charlo. But if he's the interim, he should be fighting the champion next. So that's it. That makes it even more confusing. I don't know. It is what it is. WBC with all these fucking belts, man. They got diamond belts. They got gold belts. They got silver belts. They got wood belts. They got plastic belts. They have belts on top of belts on top of belts. And all of these belts are just confusing as hell. But the only thing is that Dillian Whyte has the Whipping Boy Championship. He has the silver. And it's very unfortunate. Moving right along. These Bammers need to get hip and get with the zone, Holmes. If you can't beat them, join them. I hear that, man. Doesn't really matter. It says Charlo could be just as or more profitable than Canelo, but he too black. Man, it ain't got nothing to do with it. He can't be. The Mexican fan base, they pay that bread. The WBC, they always in the Mexican pocket anyway. Come on, let's not act like brand new and act like who the WBC don't cater to. They cater to the Mexican fan base. They have a Mexican champion. That's what makes it. Come on, you already know what it is, man. I ain't got to go into that. Yeah, he black, man. They don't want a black man having. Well, guess what? Wilder got theirs at heavyweight. They would love for Joshua to get it, won't they? Ain't going to happen, Captain. Ain't going to happen. Moving right along. Showtime Shawn Porter versus Yordenis Ugas tonight. Prediction time. Who you got, son? Who you got? I'm rocking with my main man, Showtime Shawn Porter. I seen the weigh-in. He had to get off that 1.8. I seen it. He had to cut his head like Samson. I know they said that he took the moisture out of his head, the whole nine, and he got all the fluids out of his body. I seen it. And a lot of people are saying that, I think that Shawn Porter might be drained going into this fight tonight, man. No, man. He had to hit that brick wall. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He might have got too much juice out of him and ain't got that energy for the night, especially the way he fights. We'll see. When he rehydrates, we will see. And I understand that point. I truly do. Foolish Sports says it's going to be an upset tonight. There's a lot of people out there going there saying that Yordenis Ugas is going to pull this out tonight. He definitely got the skill set to do it. He definitely does. I went back recently and looked at the Tomas Delorme versus Yordenis Ugas fight because Delorme fought aggressive and he came forward for majority of that fight, and Ugas handled him well. Fought well on the inside, fought well on the outside, took the pressure of Tomas Delorme very, very well. But Tomas is a smaller fighter. He ain't Showtime Shawn Porter. Showtime is going to bring that relentlessness. He's going to come heavy. You know what I'm saying? Head button, hitting you in the nuts, hitting you in the head, knees, and toes. I think Yordenis Ugas has a very, very good skill set. He comes from the Cuban style. I was just recently listening to Shawn Porter, and he says what's going to be so tough about beating Yordenis is that Yordenis has the mentality. His mental is tough because he comes from Cuba where they went to school for this, and it's ingrained in him. It's ingrained in his soul to fight fundamentally, to stay to the game plan, to learn you, to figure you out. It's who he is. And that's a hard thing to break. So when we seen Shawn Porter at the face-to-face and they say he was like getting all aggressive and slim, it looked like it wasn't that. That's not the typical Porter. Porter was on a mission to try his best to break the mental of Yordenis Ugas. That's a tough thing to do, son. Could be an upset. I don't know. Porter can be outboxed. Porter can be outboxed. Kell came in there with a great game plan. I was wondering, could Yordenis Ugas do the same thing that Kell Brook did? Because I still think that would be an effective strategy against Shawn Porter. And that is the 1-2 hold. 1-2 hold. Is Yordenis Ugas strong enough? Looking at him last night at the weigh-in, he looks good. His weight looked good. He looks like he's well-conditioned, looks strong. But sometimes looks can be deceiving. Yordenis Ugas is not a one-punch type dude. Yeah, he knocked down a lot of opponents like he did with Tomas Delorme, putting them down off of big shots. It was a big uppercut he hit him with. Pow, put him on the floor. But at the end of the day, I don't know if he's strong enough to handle what Porter is going to bring. I just don't know it. Some people accuse Shawn Porter, and I do too, say he smothers a lot of his punches. This dude, man, he get up on you and he can't work right because he doesn't smother a lot of his punches. And I don't think that Shawn Porter should go in there and box Yordenis Ugas. I think he needs to bring the noise on Yordenis and show him what a real aggressive fighter fights like. This is the power of Shawn Porter. Y'all got, whenever Shawn Porter tries to box, we seen it in the Danny Garcia fight. I thought that's what Danny was actually having the best portions of the fight. When he put his foot on the gas and said, you know what, I got to go back to who I am. This is where he shine. And I think this is who he needs to be. Sometimes you got to be just the best you as opposed to trying to do something that's not you. You know what I'm saying? And I think tonight, Showtime Shawn Porter still should remain aggressive and put Yordenis Ugas and show him that the weight that he'll have. He'll come in tonight, I say give or take at least 160 and over. But he needs to lose all that force and put it on Yordenis and see how much Yordenis can handle this. I don't know. I know Ugas is strong, man, and he can hit and get out of there. He can. He got good length. He can keep you at bay if he needs to. But I ain't seen a fighter yet at welterweight, win, lose, or draw, that can honestly keep Shawn Porter at bay. Not even Keith can do that. Kell couldn't even do that. This is why Kell had to hold his ass. You can't keep him at bay. And I just want to see how Yordenis Ugas is going to perform when Shawn gets to the inside. Ugas works with a strength coach, so I think he's ready. Okay. Well, he going to need every bit of that strength tonight. I got one to counter that, Fula. Shawn Porter is working with the SNAP program. So what you talking about? He going to have him, he going to have him 2019 snacks in him nice, son. Porter's drain, but Ugas is not up to that level. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Ugas, he's done some good things, man, but I don't know if he's up to that level, man. You know, Earl Spence Jr. had the opportunity to face Yordenis Ugas, but he overlooked Ugas. Said he didn't want to fight Ugas. He'd rather fight Jesse Vargas. Didn't think Ugas was much of a name. Maybe Ugas got a point to prove that y'all ain't going to be just looking over me like that tonight. I got to show y'all that I am on this level. Y'all ain't going to just be just telling people now you don't want to have nothing to do with me. There's some fans out there who says that Spence ducked that smoke. I don't know. Spence could afford him though. But Ugas moved himself out of IBF. Fuller says Porter didn't do VADA testing. So I heard about that. I don't know. I heard that came from Memo Heredia though. And I don't know how much of that I trust. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Memo and Victor Conti, they don't see eye to eye. So, I mean, that's something that we only know by listening to VADA. You know what I mean? So I didn't see anything come. I need to check VADA's website. Maybe they make that public. Maybe they made it public, given that Shawn Porter is supposedly in the clean boxer program. But I've already had my criticisms about that program. I told y'all before, man, that program is good in its intentions, but there's a lot of boxes that fall through the cracks. A lot. And Shawn Porter ain't the only one. It's a lot of fighters that fall through the cracks, bro. You know what I mean? So I don't know how that goes. I mean, they saying that it could be Shawn Porter who fell through the cracks also. See, we got another spammer up in this joint. You got to go, cuz. What's up with these spam? Hey, dog, they wait the fight day to come all around here, man. You know, and man, they wait till the fight day, the day of the fight. Next thing you know, you see all these damn spammers, man. Yeah, but we, you know, if this came from an official like website or a publication, or this actually came from the words of a Kenny Porter or Shawn Porter, then I can say, or maybe even Ugas. I haven't heard Ugas say this. I have heard nobody from Ugas' corner even mention that Shawn Porter did not take VADA. So I don't know. It's a questionable thing for me coming from Memo. It's very questionable. And given the history that he has with Conti, I just truly don't know. Doesn't really matter. Says Spence saw nothing in beating Ugas, but he beat Porter. Watch how fast that smoke come for him. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, if Ugas has a lot to prove tonight, he has to prove to everybody, I'm not no fluke, and I'm not no dude that you overlook. I'm not nobody that you just toss away and throw into the basket. Nah, you're going to respect who I am. But tonight is his night to show it. I don't think he can do it, me, honestly. I just don't think he can do it. He's a good fighter, but I think there are levels, and I think Shawn Porter is just of a high level. I can prove to be wrong. I can prove to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, VADA is a joke. Fighters pay to take those tests. Yeah, VADA, look, like I said, their intentions are good, and they are supposedly, allegedly the gold standard of drug testing in boxing. But, and then, you know, the thing I find funny, and it's something I heard not many people really talk about, you know, there's two different types of VADA tests. It's getting to a point where a lot of the promoters and fighters, they're not just going with the regular VADA test no more. They're paying to go the extra mile, like what Triple G did against Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Like with Eddie Hearn be doing, like I think that's how they caught Billy Joe Saunders. They have like two different tests. And I don't know what it is, this extra test that they always talking about that's supposed to go deeper than the original test that the clean boxing program uses. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I got to look more into that. Maybe I'll do some research on that and we'll get that into video form, man, because I do wonder about that. Like, yo, they got two different kind of VADA. Why is nowadays everybody leaning towards the new one? You know what I'm saying? He saw nothing in Ugas, but saw something in Ocampo, suspect. Ocampo was a mandatory, though. Like, he had to fight Ocampo. So it was nothing that he can do about that. In the Ugas situation, though, my thing is the IBF is a fucking graveyard. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody there. So why not take on Ugas, who probably was the best fighter there? You did. So it ain't like you got much options in the IBF. You know what I mean? You ran Ugas up out of there. Ugas like, okay, well, you don't want to fight me? Fine. I'll go over here to the WBC where I can get a faster chance. You know what I'm saying? I totally understand that. How is VADA gold? Straight bull. I mean, what else is more? What else is there? I mean, this is why everybody always feel like, yo, no one can come at me about drug testing critique as long as I incorporate VADA. Not to mention the WBA fair boxing program, which the top 5 fighters of the WBA use. They use VADA. VADA is supposed to be the gold standard, son. USADA, actually, VADA's reputation surpassed USADA. So, I mean, what you expect? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's considered the gold standard now. And they are paying extra money, even if you are in the clean boxer program. You got fighters or promoters now giving out extra money to go even deeper in testing with VADA. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. But it's going to be a good fight tonight. And, Joe, I'm looking forward to this shit tonight, man. But I'm going with Showtime Shawn Porter. I don't think he stops Yordenis. I think I'll give it to him by unanimous decision. I could be proven wrong. This is a shaky fight. And I know, and see, every time I do this, man, I be messing myself over. I got the voices in my head like, yo, he didn't hit weight last night. He didn't hit weight, man. You better call it right. I got that voice right there. It's right there. And it's like, look, you see the sign. And I ignore a lot of signs sometimes when it comes to a lot of fighters. What's up with you? Jaquavius, what's up, man? What's up with you? I do. And I will admit that, man. And I know everything in my head and something in my gut is saying, yo, he missed weight last night. But I want to say this, man. And I haven't had a chance to speak on that weight. Remember that Shawn Porter switched gyms in this particular fight. He came from Vegas. He came here to DC. He trained up at Headbangers up there with Burry Hunter. Then I heard also he finished off at Wildcard. He went over there with Freddie Roach's gym. And that's unlike Shawn Porter. You know what I mean? He don't be switching gyms and shit. Like that little thing he was sitting in. What was that? Remember that big box that he stood in? That thing, that weird looking thing he used to use? He said he couldn't use it this time around. He said he had to throw it in storage. They shut their gym down. So maybe that could have been a reason. I don't want to give no excuses, but I'm just saying maybe that could have played into it. That could have been something they played into it. You damn right. They trying to rob Ugas. Yeah, we'll see, man. Ugas gonna have to bring his A game tonight, man. But looking at Ugas, man, Ugas look like he ready for anything Shawn can bring. I just think that Shawn's aggressiveness, his weight is going to be a little different than what he had to tussle with say, like a Tomas Delorme. And Ugas fought well against Tomas. Like I said, he handled Tomas Delorme with ease. He put him on the outside of that jab. He fought well on the inside. And I'm thinking he can do the same thing with Shawn. But the difference is it'll be a different level of power with something that Tomas Delorme lacked. And it'll be a bigger weight. It'll be more weight on this dude. You know what I mean? So I just think that, and I don't want to see Showtime Shawn Porter going in there trying to box on his toes. I don't want to see it. I don't think that's the way to go. I think if he attempts to go that way, he's going to get outboxed. I think Ugas will outbox him if Shawn Porter decides to go in there and be a boxer. So I don't know, man. I think in the Danny Garcia fight, he had to fight that way because that is part of the blueprint. Y'all don't understand when you fight Danny Garcia. Part of the blueprint is switching up on Danny. This is how Mauricio Herrera had success, where he boxed Danny for one half and he came aggressive for Danny on one half. This is also how Showtime Shawn Porter had success. This is also how Lamont Peterson had success against Danny. They box him for one half and they become aggressive in the next half. That's something you got to do against Danny to throw him off. It does something to Danny's timing. It throws him off. You know what I'm saying? But in Yordenis Ugas situation, I don't think that Shawn Porter should go in there and try to box tonight. I think he needs to be the aggressive Shawn Porter that he normally is. That's how I believe. That's one of the ways. That's the Cuban style is a beautiful thing, and they do learn fundamentals. But the Cubans have problems with aggressive fighters. That's their Achilles, if you will. When a guy puts the foot on the gas and comes at him, makes him have to think a lot faster. That's usually the Achilles heel of a Cuban style fighter. And this is the reason I think that Shawn needs to be the epitome of aggression tonight and show it. You know what I mean? This is when we see Luis Ortiz sometimes struggle. This is where we've seen guys like Earl Sandy Lohr struggle. You know what I mean? This is where we've seen even Gamboa struggle at times through aggressiveness. And I think tonight that's what Shawn Porter should be epitomized. You know what I mean? Bookies have Porter 1-4 on, should be on easy victory. Yeah, it should be. It should be, man. And I mean, there's levels, Shawn. There's levels, man. It's gonna be a good fight, though, man. But this is Yordenis Ugas' chance, the chance that he missed out with Errol Spence Jr., not getting the exact opponent that he wanted, and not getting that name that puts him up there. Though he did a hell of a good job against Ray Robinson, though he did a hell of a good job against Delorme, like those wasn't the dudes. Those wasn't the it dudes that brings him into the mainstream of boxing fans. This is it. This is it. This is it. So I wish him well. I'm rocking with Shawn Porter. And hopefully after this is over, Shawn Porter then proceeds, if he wins, he proceeds to get the dark cloud off him, known as Errol Spence Jr. He gets on the first thing smoking, to Texas. Gets his tickets to the Spence versus Mikey fight. Get a front row seat. And he walk up in that joint like, Earl, I want you. Because we here to talk now. You know, we out here. Oh, you here. Man, he even kind of dismissing the fact that he'll choose Manny first. Though we know he would. But, yo, I'm just saying, if Shawn wins tonight, I need him on the first thing smoking to Texas. Like, yo, I'm going to see Earl. What's goody? What's goody? I'd like to see Ugas. Maybe Ugas even do it. I can see a lot of people are alluding to the fact that if Ugas wins, just everybody and their mom is going to be trying to grab him because he's going to have that WBC title. I can see that. I could definitely see that. Daniel Dubois fucked up. What you call it? Kahuna Team GB. Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to Daniel Dubois, man. He did a hell of a good fight last night. Stopped him in what, 2? Oh, this kid, he looks good, man. We'll see. He got to keep stepping up, keep progressing. We'll see. And I also seen the Yarde fight, man. I like Yarde, man. I'm a fan of Yarde. First, I always like, damn, I'm ready to see him step up, and I'm still there. I'm still there. A lot of people like, no, they bringing him along right. You got to keep bringing him along slow. But I think Yarde is ready, man. As long as people is in his ear and in his face telling him he ain't ready, you know what I mean? He gonna probably feel like but I think deep down, Anthony Yarde feel like he ready. Bring on the Kovaleers of the world. Bring on whoever. I'm ready. But as long as he got everybody around him telling him, well, we don't think you ready. You shouldn't step up. No, not yet. No, not yet. Man, well, fuck it. I got to go with what everybody telling me. I want to see him step up, man. I see he's beyond the level of fighters that he's fighting. Like it's becoming a waste of time. It's like, he's fighting fighters that ain't progressing him, that ain't challenging him, that ain't making him learn nothing. Like you don't want to get him stagnant. It's time to progress him up to the next level. That's how I feel about Anthony Yarde. Yarde strong, but he's straight rookie. Yeah, I mean, but he'll remain that if he not learn. You can't just keep putting him in there with bum after bum after bum and think he's gonna learn something. He's just gonna keep stopping these dudes in 2 rounds, 3 rounds. I remember the fight before this when we was talking about it, people was like, well, I think Yarde just getting bored. Like he fought the last fight like he was bored, like he just playing with the dude. And that's how I see it. If he keep getting this level of opponent that he fighting, he gonna get bored. And he gonna just sit around and he's gonna be like, okay, here I am now, 30-0. And I ain't fought nobody in the top 5, top 10, nothing. You know what I'm saying? If Shawn called out Spence and is persistent and leads to results, then we would know that the Porters were telling the truth. Yeah. Y'all know the Porters said. Porter said that they went behind the scenes. Kenny Porter says, look, man, I went behind the scenes to the powers that be and told them we want Earl Spence Jr. They said no. He said, I didn't go publicly and do it, but I did it behind the scenes. Well, I don't know. I just don't know. But he says, I went behind the scenes and they told him that no, that this was they were going to do with Earl Spence Jr. And they were going to put him in this pay-per-view with Mike. And we talked about this in the last live stream. I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying this is fact, but I'm just saying they put a lot of money in Earl Spence. But are they trying to recoup some of this money? Or on the flip tip, could it just be that both fighters wanted an astronomical amount of money and the only way that they can get it was on pay-per-view? I mean, you got to ask these questions. This is just being unfair, just being fair. They scared to put Yarde in there with top 5 or 10 to protect his O. That's what I'm saying. It becomes almost like a project. You know what I mean? It becomes a Mike Tyson. Like you building this dude, getting him to stop all of these lower tier dudes. And then eventually when he step up, we may see him exposed. But see, if you are really interested in making him a better fighter, if you are really interested in getting him fully prepared, then we got to see him step up. It ain't got to be against a champion. It ain't got to be against the top 3. Step it up, top 10. You know what I mean? Give him a top 10 opponent. Give him a couple of them back to back and see what happens. But to keep putting him in there with the Joe Schmoes of boxing, with the Chitlin circuit of boxing, finding these cats at some local, man, you can't keep doing that, man. The man ain't going to learn nothing. You know, so that's how I feel, man. Really interesting interview with Lennox Lewis on Joe Rogan last night. I missed that, Shawn. What was the high points of that? Lennox Lewis know what's up, man. Lennox Lewis know what's up. He know what's up. We all want to see Yarde progress. We know he got the swag. You know what I mean? He's the type of fighter that, given the look he got and given the way he kind of talks and he swags himself up, a lot of Americans may even start to take interest at him because he moves like an American almost. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they can sell him on that front. But as to the hardcores like myself, we need to see that work. We need to see you put that work in, Anthony Yarde. I like you, man. I think you cool dude. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. But I need to see this man step up. I need to see this man step up. And that's all I'm saying, man. And that's all I'm saying. To everybody that's just joining us, I've already gave my spiel about Dillian Whyte and him being the WBC silver champion, the Whipping Boy Championship, in which now he's out here calling the Deontay Wilder fight with Dominique Brazil a joke. And I just say to myself, what? You had every opportunity to be in that position, but you chose not to. So you continue to hold on to your Whipping Boy Championship and see what the WBC is going to make you do. It's unfortunate, but you had alternative roads. You had it, bruh. You had it, man. And if anybody missed that breakdown, listen to it on the replay. Listen to it on the playback. But we went all the way in and broke it down step by step. And that's why I have no remorse for Dillian Whyte. I just don't. What y'all think about Bivol and Joe Smith tonight, man? Bivol and Joe Smith should be another good one. I'm rooting for Joe Smith Jr. to see what happens, but I think Bivol wins the fight without a doubt. I think Bivol is on the mission. He is trying to get there. He's learning English. His English is getting better and better. I think Bivol is a problem, man. I think a lot of people don't give Bivol the credit he deserves. I think Bivol is a problem. Bivol been wanting that smoke for years. He's been wanting it with Kovalev. You know what I'm saying? He's been wanting all, and Bivol was saying he's willing to go through different weights. Bivol is on a mission to prove, man. I think Joe Smith is just going to be another notch in the belt. Cove calling Yarde out right now. Cove. I heard about that. And they're going to protect the Yarde. They're going to circle the wagons, man. Kovalev and Yarde, I don't know if Yarde should step up that high right now. That's a little too high. I mean, he could take something better in the interim. I mean, I ain't going to be stupid about it. You know what I'm saying? Kovalev is at the top of the chain right now. So, I mean, look, if y'all want to jump in that water, I don't think that's a smart fight for him. But he can still move it up to the top 10, top 5, something like that. You know what I mean? It's still other opponents out there, the Chilimbas of the world and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, he don't have to exactly go all the way up to the mountaintop. Cove won him, though. Cove won him. And I don't know how that will work out. Well, it works out good now that the ESPN situation is playing out. Does it really matter? Joe handpicked for Bivol to look real good. Yeah, I mean, I think Bivol's a good fighter, man. I think Bivol's a good fighter either way. And I think he give anybody problems at that class and the class below him. I think he gives them all problems, man. I've been watching him for a minute, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna catch that fight live, given the timing is going to be going on with the Porter versus Ugas fight. I don't know if I'm going to catch that live, but we'll see. We'll see. Who is the top challenger for Kovalev? I think Bivol. I think it's Bivol. You know what I'm saying? I think Bivol. I think Bivol will be the top challenger for him. I like to see it get made, man. Truth be told, I would love to see Kovalev and Bivol get made. Here's a problem. Sullivan Barrera wants that Kovalev smoke. Yeah, Sullivan Barrera need to, yeah, whatever, man. Sullivan Barrera just always underperforms for my liking. You know what I mean? To me, he just like whenever he got to get into the big one, he just can't. I like Sullivan Barrera. I like his attitude. I like the fact. I like his discipline. I even like his fighting style. But I think Kovalev would dust him, man. I think Kovalev would dust him. Bivol will beat Kovalev. I don't know. That'd be a good fight. I think the youth. I gotta go with the young boy, man. I think Bivol might do smoke him, Joe. I think I gotta go with the young boy. Stylist. Hey, Bivol can do so many good things in that ring, man. I've been watching him for a minute. Bivol is sharp, bro. People underestimate Bivol, man. Bivol is sharp. I think he beats Kovalev too, truth be told. And he been wanting that fight, but Kovalev ain't been resisting, man. He's been resisting. We thought we was going to get it prior to Kovalev losing to Elian Alvarez, remember? Well, Wilder have signed for DAZN if Fury didn't sign for ESPN? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, Fury set that in motion. I mean, you got to remember when we thought we were going to get the rematch between Wilder and Fury, there wasn't nobody trying to make no moves. They were cool with the rematch. They were down. They had the terms down. It was all good. You know what I'm saying? But when Fury made the move, of course, it forced Wilder to have to make a move. I mean, what is he supposed to do? Just sit back and allow all the politics and stuff to keep rising? Not to mention Showtime ain't showing him no love. What he supposed to do? I was never on this, I rock Team Bomb Squad all day. Hashtag the real champ. Hashtag Bomb Squad. Hashtag to this day. You know what I'm saying? You know, I rock with him all day, but I was not in favor for him to stay put, and just watch everybody else come up and just sit around and just do nothing. I wasn't in favor of that, man. I just wasn't from the jump. Now I was gonna rock with him whatever decision he makes, but I also think that Wilder need to do what's best for Wilder. We seen Daniel Jacobs do it, right? We seen Daniel Jacobs make a move with no problem, man. Shit, hey, got love for you, bro, but I'm gone over here. Got love for you, Al. Got love for you, Showtime. Thanks for everything y'all did. Thanks for the Gennady Golovkin fight. Appreciate that. But I'm going to go ahead over here and rock with Eddie and DAZN, okay? We seen him do it. It wasn't no problem. So why the hell, you know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm saying with Jamal Charlo. Same deal. You should be able to do it too. If that's where the smoke is at, it is what it is. But people need to remember something. I don't know if you want to credit this to Daniel Jacobs or maybe for Deontay Wilder. But if Deontay Wilder makes the move to DAZN, It's going to open the floodgates for the rest of them PBC fighters who ain't locked in. It's going to open the floodgates. It's going to be in a position where PBC is going to have to do a lot of pay-per-views because they're going to be like, yo, these fighters are going to be like, oh, well, I want this amount of money. If not, I'm going to go on over here. And in order for them to give them that money, what they're going to have to do? Put them on pay-per-view. So something going to give, bro. Something going to have to give. Because this did all, as you can already see the domino effect happening, man. You already see it happening. You already see it happening. So we'll see how it works out, man. So, but yo, man, tune in for tonight's fight, man. I'm really, man, looking forward to tonight's fight. Yordenis Ugas versus Showtime Shawn Porter. You know, we got the Bivol versus Joe Smith fight. Oh, one more. F.A. Ajagba versus Amir Mansour. I'm rocking with F.A. I know Amir Mansour is the older fighter, but his inactive periods, man, and not to mention this is a dude who already lost to Dominic Brazil. I'm just like, I think I like Amir Mansour, but I just think that Father Time waits for no man. And though he may have every intentions, and he's a good fighter, he pushes you very hard. But I think the power of FA, the youth of FA, will win this fight tonight. That's in my opinion. I think Amir Mansour going to sleep. I think Amir Mansour going to sleep. You know what I mean? Brian Thompson says I wasn't in favor of that either, Holmes. Loyalty can hurt you, but I'm glad he finally woke up. Same here. But you know, he's still remaining loyal though. Like he's not breaking his loyalty because he's taking his whole crew. He ain't saying I'm rocking with Eddie or I'm going over here to get with Oscar. Nah, he's saying, come on, Al. Come on, Lou. Come on, Shelly. Let's go talk to DAZN. He's taking the crew. You know what I'm saying? He's taking the whole crew. And that's why I can't even respect that even more. Because he taking the crew. He like, dog. And if Al infiltrates DAZN, we don't know what the sky gonna be the limit. Things might change. Do you not know DAZN would love to be in the good graces of Al Heyman? They would love to be in the good graces of Al Heyman. This is not a secret. ESPN, they are not in the good graces of Al Heyman right now. This is why you see none of those PBC fighters going over there. But as for DAZN, they would then have Oscar in the building. They would have Eddie in the building. And now we got Al. And ain't no telling once Al and Sam Watson walk through them doors, ain't no telling what else they gonna do. Who else they gonna bring? Maybe even get PBC on DAZN. Who knows? You don't know. You don't know. And so Wilder, see, Daniel Jacobs didn't even do that. Daniel Jacobs left them all back over there with Showtime and left PBC and he just went over that joint like, nah, take me. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of speculation back and forth about whether Al is involved still with Daniel Jacobs or not. Daniel says that we still cool. But yo, Deontay Wilder letting it be known. No, I'm sitting at the table with my crew. They loving the crew. Sean Isaac says Fury has the status of a champion without any of the responsibility. Example, mandatory challenges, great gimmick. Yeah, he may have that. I will agree with that, bro. And see, he does because the lineal and the whole nine, but he doesn't actually have an actual title and people see him as some sort of champion. I'll give you that. But the question is, does he have the American fan? And that's what ESPN wants. Unless the ESPN got some sort of business plan that we don't know about to lure the UK fan over to America. And I don't see that happening. He can have all that, bro. That held more weight in the UK, Sean. Like Tyson Fury not having a belt and all of that stuff, just being the Gypsy King. I'm the man who beat the man. I beat all the Dawsons. All of that shit holds weight in the UK, son. And I ain't just, but that shit don't hold weight here. If he get in that joint and do his usual bopping around the ring, we all know it's been said a zillion times, man. It's been said a zillion times. The fact that Deontay Wilder brought that element of I can knock this dude out at any time made that fight exciting. Without that element involved into a fight, Tyson Fury versus even in the Klitschko fight, that would have been a real snooze fest over here in America. Klitschko versus Fury would have been like that, man. The everyday cat over here would have been like, man, that shit was boring, bro. I ain't even watched that. I turned it off after like the 5th round and started watching Dancing with the Stars or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm being 100. Like it was a great fight to us hardcores because of the implications. But the average casual don't know nothing about no lineal. Who holds the lineage? Oh, the great John L. Sullivan. Who the hell is that? John L. Sullivan. Ain't that dude that used to work down at the Mako? Nah, bro. John L. Sullivan. You know what I mean? They don't know these people. And so that's what I mean. Like over there, it holds weight to be a champion without having a belt and being considered respected and all. But over here, it's you better put that work in, give us some knockouts. You know what I mean? Maybe man, Al already negotiating with the zone. What fighter? What you talking about with Daniel Jacobs? Or is there another fighter that I'm leaving out? Because unless you're talking about the situation with Wilder. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see. Brian Thompson, oh, trust me, he got the American fans. Joe Rogan can't keep Fury's name out of his mouth. Man, look, when I say get the American fans, it ain't about just knowing his name. It ain't about people going to be what the fans that Joe Rogan attracts are UFC fans. UFC fans are on edge all the time. They the kind of cats that take beer cans and smack them over their forehead. They always turn the fuck up. And Tyson Fury ain't that. You did like those are Joe Rogan. You got to remember Joe Rogan come from the world of UFC. His fan base are like UFC cats. They like to jump out that. They the type of cats that just throw themselves out of through windows and shit just to do it. And when they look at Tyson Fury, man, they're gonna be falling asleep. It's about getting that work done in the ring. You know what I mean? And that's what it is about Fury, man. It's about you got to get it done in the ring, and he needs the dancing partner to bring that intrigue. I will concede. Though a lot of people in America don't know who Dillian Whyte is, and they don't, but Dillian Whyte has a fighting style that's real conduent to the American audience. Like he brings aggressive, he goes for the knockout, powerful. So a fight between Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury probably will do well here in America. It will get good reviews here in America because of the type of fight that it probably will be. So that's why ESPN wants Dillian Whyte, because he brings not the same element. Wilder's a one-punch knockout, change the whole course of the fight. Lights out, it's over. What's your name? I'm Batman. He's that kind of cat, you know what I mean? But Dillian Whyte is the kind of cat that's going to still bring noise. Anthony Willis says, keep Al Heyman away from the zone. Why? Because you scared he's going to take the building over? Hey, my man, Al got him annoyed already. Hey, he like keep Al Heyman away from the zone. Why? Because you scared he's going to take it over? You know what I mean? Look, man, the good thing about it is they're all going to be on the same network. When you do this, Anthony Willis, the power changes, meaning that you can't just keep fighters away from each other on the same network, because the networks will get involved and the zone will get involved. The ones who cut the checks will say, no. We ain't gonna have y'all over here, and it's gonna be a stern contest. Look how Eddie and Oscar, they doing all kind of fights together. Big fight coming up between Daniel Jacobs and Canelo Alvarez, because the zone ain't gonna sit back and allow all of these entities to be on their streaming service and not fight and kicking out these dollars. They not gonna have it, cousin. They ain't gonna have it. They offering Al a contract to bring more of his fighters over. Al seriously considering. Hey, there it is. Showtime better get their act together. It is what it is. But see, that's what I'm talking about. Al is in the building. When Al walks in the building, he fuck around, take it over. So if that's already the case, if that's already been playing out in the background, and hats off to the subscribers for that. Appreciate that. If that's already playing in the background, come on, man. Just Slim. That's why Oscar's sitting back like, okay, all right, we watching you, son. We watching you. I know Eddie's sitting back like, okay, Daniel, you better win this fight, because if you lose this fight, all I got is Andre left to keep me in the. Oh, he got AJ, of course, to keep me relevant over here on the zone. You know what I mean? But that's good, man. I mean, look, I ain't mad at it, bro. I'm the type of cat that says the more these fighters are on the same network, the better. I'm one of them cats. The less network interference that we have, the better. It ain't a good look to have ESPN, The Zone, and Showtime, and this one, and that one, and this one, and that one, and that one. And these fighters won't fight these fighters because that fighter won't fight that fighter. That fighter won't fight. No, that doesn't do well for the sport, man. You know what I mean? So the more of these fighters that are on the same network, the network have the power to make these fights happen, the more better fights we get with less bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Wilder officially up against Brazil next. Still got the beef about Bronze Bomber wanting to kill him in front of his kids. Dominique been inactive too long, though. I mean, he fought how many months ago was that when Dominique fought? And he had the closed eye and all that other jazz. I mean, I don't know. I just look at Dominique like I remember when that went down. I did videos about it and I called him soft. And I was like, dog, you being real soft and salty about it, and all the beat down in front of the kids stuff. And a lot of y'all jumped on me like, man, that ain't right. It was in front of his kids. And this is boxing, man. Like, oh, no, man. Maybe I come from a whole nother cloth where I'm just like, bro, for why I didn't see Dominique Brazil get beat up in front of his kids. I seen the entourage just go at it and all that jazz, but that's boxing, man. Like, they kids know they fight. It ain't like more fans are emotionally attached than the fighters are. I bet you after it's all over, they fight and it's all said and done, they're gonna probably dap it up and all. I know they got court cases and the whole 9 yards, but I don't know, man. I don't subscribe to it, bro. I think this is a gladiator sport, and you got to be a gladiator. You know what I mean? You can't be sitting in your car, moist as shit. You know what I mean? Someone's man, that's messed up what you did, bro. That's messed up. That's messed up. I mean, I would never do that to you, man. And, I would do that in front of your kids. You know what I mean? I would never do nothing to nobody. I ain't never hurt nobody. I never did anything. I just, at the heavyweight division, I just never been raised to look at it like that. I may be wrong, but it is what it is. I suppose as long as promoters aren't monopolizing, I'd be happy. Same way here, Anthony. I'm the same way. As long as we get in the fights, and the more that all of these entities are on the same network, the easier the chance. And that's it. So I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. I got to get ready to go. I want to get ready for these fights tonight, and I got some things to take care of in the meantime, between time. So check it out, man. I'll be here for the post-fight videos. I'll probably be on camera instead. You know what I mean? And so don't miss tonight's fights. If you do miss them, it's all good. You got something to do, come on back, and I'll break it down exactly how it went. I'm not sure if I'm gonna call it live this time around like I did the last couple fights. Last couple fights we were doing round by rounds. I don't know if I want to do that tonight, man, because the brother want to throw a few back. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be on camera all like, yeah, man, hey, what the hell? So I'll probably just take on in a fight, and we'll just come back on here live after the fight. You know what I mean? But come on, tune back in, fuck with the boy, and definitely fucks with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Much love to everybody that showed up. Anthony Willis, you said you missed most of it. Go back and listen to it, Holmes. Look at the playback. Hit the like button on your way out if you can. If you forgot to hit it while you were chilling, hit it on the way out. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. Hands down. So to the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus. Oh, should I say Instagram, Main Man, Made Man. To the next one. Peace out.